Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's chess puzzle deep dive.
Sounds good.
All right, let's set up the board.
Okay.
For white, we have a bishop on h6, a pawn on a4, a pawn on d4, the queen on f4, a pawn on c3,
Okay.
a knight on g3, a pawn on h3, a pawn on b2, a bishop on e2, a pawn on g2, a rook on a1, and the king on f1.
Okay.
Now for black, a rook on c8, a rook on e8, the king on g8, a pawn on a7, a knight on d7, a bishop on e7, a pawn on h7, a pawn on b6, a knight on c6, a pawn on g6, the queen on a5, and a pawn on e4.
All right, got it.
Let's get this going.
So you see white's queen sitting right in the center on f4. That immediately catches the eye. It's putting pressure, but black's king on g8 isn't immediately in danger. It has some room to maneuver. What's also interesting is that bishop white has on h6. Notice how it's cutting off the black king's escape along that h-file. That could become important later.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And that knight on g3 for white looks like it could become active. It could jump to e4, attacking that black pawn, or even potentially hop to f5, getting closer to the king.
Right.
White's pawns on d4 and a4 are doing a good job of controlling space in the center and on the queen side.
Yeah.
But black isn't without threats. That queen on a5 is eyeing some of white's pieces.
Right. And those black knights on d7 and c6 are important. They control key central squares, making it harder for white to just push forward.
Right.
The rooks for black on c8 and e8 are quiet for now, but if any of those files open up, they could become a real factor. And the black bishop on e7 is providing good defense around its king.
So when we look at this, the white queen is a clear threat, but it doesn't seem like a checkmate is immediate. It feels like white needs to find a way to use that bishop on h6, maybe in combination with the knight and queen, to really box in the black king. That bishop feels key in limiting where the black king can go.
Yeah.
It looks like we need to find a sequence of moves where white forces black into a vulnerable position.
Exactly. The aim here isn't just a quick check. It's about using the pieces in concert to create a situation where the black king has no safe squares.
Right.
That bishop on h6 is a crucial piece in that potential trap.
All right, the answer is white, qf4, qf7, black, kg8, kf7, white, b2, bc4, black, kf7, take f6, white, and g3, n4, black, kf6, kf5, white, pg2, pg4, black, kf5, k4, white, re1, re1, black, k4, kf3, white, re1, re3, checkmate.
There you go. So white starts by moving the queen from f4 to f7, that's a check, and the black king has to move from g8 to f7. Next, white's bishop goes from e2 to c4, another check, forcing the king to move to f6. Then the knight jumps from g3 to e4, attacking the king again, and the king retreats to f5. Now white's pawn on g2 moves to g4, cutting off another escape square. The black king is forced to e4. The rook on a1 then moves to e1, putting the king in check again, so it goes to f3. And finally, the rook from e1 moves to e3, delivering the checkmate.
Thank you for listening to this deep dive.
Thanks for listening.